Right. Hello, this is the 23rd of April 2010 and I am in Warwick Park, Newcastle. I've been to First Avenue Studios to do a singing rehearsal. I stayed overnight in a travel lodge just outside Newcastle, and I wanted to do some football while I was up there, and so I had to drive around. I sort of spotted somewhere on the way in, and then I was driving around afterwards and I found Warwick Park. So I parked up, wandered in, went back, and was surprised, pleasantly surprised, to find this five-a-side pitch. And so I started. It was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I had a few issues. One was I was worried about schools closing and people wanting to play on the pitch, so I wanted to get things done as fast as possible. Secondly, I'd forgotten my bit of elastic to tie my hair back, so that was a constant problem throughout the session. There's an example. And I've been on my feet in First Avenue Studios about 3 hours, so I was a bit tired as well. I sent this video to Marion Foster, as you do, and I described the first 5 minutes as basically nothing really happens of any consequence. Just about everything goes wrong really in the first 5 minutes. I struggled to get the ball off the ground. That's the first problem. Then once it's off the ground, I struggled to see. So all goes a bit wrong. I'm playing with Champions League final ball from about 2 years ago, and I must admit I did find it a bit slippery at the best of times, but today was a particularly bad day for flicking it up. So I started off with some juggles. Basically I want to quickly do some juggles, flick overs and volleys, and then do some dribbling and then go. But it took a bit longer than anticipated. That wasn't a planned move, no. Did at least end up on target. The goal, and it's another excuse, the goal, I had to move. The goal is effectively that big cone on the left, and on the right hand side that stump cone. That is the goal. I had to move so it's off centre because at the central point of the pitch the fence above the wall is missing. So if I'd left it in a normal place, if I did get on target it would fly straight through the gap. So that adds to my confusion and my list of reasons why I'm so poor today. So I'm trying to begin with, juggle to the cone, flick it over my head to my right so I can volley with my left foot. That's what this is all about to begin with. It's not going well so far. That was a good flick over, but somehow my compass was a bit wrong there and ended up shooting left. Yeah, that's the goal. So my first solution to that problem is I decided to move the cone. very unlikely I'm going to put much of the Newcastle session. I did video it all, mostly, all of it. Unfortunately, that was a bad cameraman day that day. And my head very rarely appears. It's okay having, you know, chopping your feet off, but my head very rarely appears in that particular video. As usual, I want to get to the right hand side of the cone. Just a bit too far, good stretch, and half volley. It was a very fast surface, standard as well. It's very fast. And moving the cone so far hasn't helped. That's much better. Still missed, unfortunately. Slightly too far to flick, perhaps, but should have got it on target still. I didn't intend to flick it that way, it just so happened that it went that way. As I was concerned about schools emptying out, so I thought I'd better go and do some dribbling, just in case they do, so at least I can get that, some examples of that. I haven't quite done the juggle, flick and volley. So, some dribbling around the cones. I say it's pretty fast, we didn't touch it, it was off. trying to confuse the first cone. So this first few dribbles, I'm trying to do as few touches as possible. I didn't put much effort into the finish. There's not really goal, is there? So, and it rockets the other end of the pitch if you do it as well. Yeah, in theory it should be one touch to get past each cone. Crayfish turnish. One. Like that. And a dinkish finish. That was just luck that I did that because I didn't realise it was not really on camera. A little move and a dink. Yes, I'm now doing a couple of, ignoring the cones, direct runs to goal. Trouble is I forgot to get myself on camera. So honest, I did run all the way from the other end of the pitch, as fast as I could, controlling the ball, chasing after it. But I forgot to get on camera. If you listen very carefully, you could just hear the feet of a gazelle speeding past. And then appearing on camera. I'd say with my shirt untucked and that big floppy hair, I look more young Moby than ever. Can fetch that one. I like a bit slower than normal as well for some reason, don't ask me why. Must be the altitude. Right, so I've done some runs, so I've got those in my belt. So I'm going back to do some juggling and flickovers now. A couple of headers and no! Yes, not particularly graceful. Yes, that was more hippo than gazelle, wasn't it? Well, so that's both laces done now, so that's the other excuse gone. I do remember I was... Oh, that hair. As long as the wind's blowing into your face, it's alright. As soon as you change direction, that's it. Can't see a thing. I'm just gonna go then. I reckon this is gonna be... Oh, got to the cone and lost it. Right, so another approach to try and help. Done both laces up, moved the cone, although it's moved again of course. So now I decide, well obviously the other post isn't high vis enough, so a black bag. That will help. And lost again. As I say, it doesn't count. Although I was by the cone, I've got to really be alongside it, just to the right of it. Otherwise it doesn't really count. That's why as I was there, I read about the cone, I didn't flick it over. I couldn't get back to it. Whoa! That definitely would disappoint me at the time. Nice one day to juggle just in a straight line all the way to the cone, but for some reason I always have to go in a meandering way. Right, I'm not entirely. I'm pretty sure that was outside the right foot, left foot-ish. Hard, just a faint touch, and somehow I don't want to spin on the ball, but somehow it spun back and went in. So that was a bit of a ironic celebration there. I don't consider that a success either. This, I believe, is going to be a back heel. Nope. We're going to try and do the back heel next. Because that was, you know, sort of successful. This one's near misses. So I think I'm trying a back heel now. I'll change sides. There you go. And yeah, that one moved from left to right as well, so it might have been a bit of slight slope. And I consider that one was definitely in off the post. Right, and this, again, confusing the first cone. This dribble I've decided to do with as many touches as possible. It's quite difficult on that fast surface. So it's a bit slower. I'm trying to keep the ball as close as possible and as many touches as possible. And that's supposed to be a dink. A nice back heel. Yep, another long range run after that bit of an abject failure at juggling, and this again I'm off camera. And of course the worst part of that particular one is that the finish is dreadful as well. And one more. Right, I've now decided to put the cones, spread them out a bit so that the dribbling is slightly more zigzag. A long range shot first. Dinked. So I put those cones out to do that. But of course I'm still not happy. I haven't really done the juggle flick volley properly. So I'm going to go at that first as well. Still going to the right of that cone. Right. Nice flick and lovely volley. So finally I've done it. So I decide that's it. Girls allowed. I decided to go home. Wanted to beat the traffic home. so that is the end of the actual football part. I'm just going to show, do a 360 with the camera now to show where I was. And there will be a close-up of me at the end, just to warn you. I'll let my other self say goodbye. So Rich wants me saying goodbye. Come choice.
This is where I was. Warwick Park. That's where the camera was on that cone.
That's the pesky ball.
And this still sadly is me. Goodbye.